Sean McCoy. I'm the owner and National Business Director of Federal Employee Benefits Advocates. We're joined today as our moderator, Nick Woodward. He's our Senior Online Strategist. In addition to that, not on the call today, but also a part of the team is our Senior Business Development Director for the West, David Kramer. He's actually instructing a class today in Arizona. So the reason we hope you're on the call is that you're looking for an opportunity in a niche, and preferably a niche that has not been explored by you, at least at this point. The first question I'm usually asked is, why should you work with federal employees? Well, when you look at the federal workforce, 39% of the federal workforce is age 50 or older compared to about 24% in the private sector. The average age for federal employees is about 47 years of age with about 16.3 years of service. And according to the Office of Personnel Management, 1 out of every 3 federal employees will be eligible to retire beginning in 2018. So there's about 2.7 million federal employees, and of that number, you're talking about somewhere in the number of 776,000 people. So that's quite a few people that have eligibility for retirement. Now, whether they retire or not will remain to be seen. The other question that comes up is, my thought is federal employees don't make a lot of money. Well, that's not true. Federal employees, all different branches of the government, have to be competitive in order to compete with the private sector. And so as a result, federal employees are paid very well. Some of the other groups, they do have blue collar groups such as Postal Service that are not as compensated as, say, maybe an air traffic controller, but nonetheless, they all have different opportunities you can have to assist with them. The other concern that comes up is, where's the location of federal employees? Well, federal employees are distributed all over the country. As a matter of fact, 85% of them are outside the D.C. area. The largest concentration of federal employees comes from California, Texas, Virginia, Maryland, Florida, New York, Pennsylvania, Georgia, Illinois, and Ohio. So those are some of the bigger states that are available. Now, the other thing that comes up with federal employees is, what can I do to help federal employees? Well, federal employees need your assistance. There are really 7 key areas that federal employees can use your assistance with. Now, that having been said, it doesn't mean that every federal employee would be a candidate for that level of assistance. So the first area that we look at is pension. They have a federal employee pension plan. They have 2 systems, an old system and a new system. The old system closed out at the end of 1983, so anyone hired under the new system was covered since '84, but they have a pension, which means that when they get ready to retire, they will have to choose a survivor benefit. And so this provides an opportunity to do pension income alternatives, or pension maximization as sometimes it's referred to, and most typically that's handled with some type of life insurance product. Another area that federal employees need assistance on is for those employees that have less than 10 years of service. Most people are not aware that are employed that if they have less than 10 years of service and they're not age 62 with at least 5 years of service, then what happens is they don't have a pension. So that represents risk, and the opportunity in order to take care of that risk could be handled in the form of life insurance. The other area comes in the thrift savings plan, which is very similar to a 401k plan. That plan, as of today, has $569 billion in it, making it the largest pension plan in the world. The challenge with that is it's their largest single account, to the tune of about $269 billion, is in their G fund, which is effectively a money market fund. So they really need some help with suitability while they're employed, and then also some assistance on what to do with those assets and how to deploy those once they've retired. So potentially some transfer of assets opportunities would exist there. The next area comes in their voluntary contribution program. This is only available for those individuals who are hired under the CSRS system. So because of a unique change in the tax law in 2008, they can utilize this voluntary contribution program to use it as a conduit to put up to 10% of everything they've earned on an after-tax basis, and then through this conduit be able to put it into a Roth IRA, thereby avoiding the normal limits on contributions as well as the income limits that may preclude some people from participating. So it's a great little loophole, but only available for those people covered under the civil service retirement system. This will kind of give you a little bit of an idea of the type of assets that are in the TSP. You can see that there's a big range of the number of assets and the amount and the number of participants. This would include both active and retired employees as well. The final areas come in the area of risk management. The first one is their federal employee group life insurance. This is a term life insurance program that they're provided during their employment, and they have an opportunity to keep it into retirement. They have what's called an option B coverage, and the challenge with the option B coverage is that when they start getting into their 50s, it starts to grow and cost exponentially. There's also the possibility that over their lifetime, they could potentially pay more in to the system for the insurance than they would ever get out in a death benefit. So that represents, again, a risk management issue that could be addressed with life insurance. The other area that they have challenges and need assistance are in the area of disability. The federal employees don't have a true disability program. They have what's called a disability retirement program. The challenge is after the first year is at 60% of their high 3 average, and then after that it goes to 40%. Well, most people cannot handle living on 40% that would be taxable. So this would represent an opportunity to provide a disability coverage, or potentially maybe couple that with other life insurance policies that may have other types of benefit riders, such as living benefits, disability, critical, chronic, those types of things. The final area comes in the area of long-term care, and this is all part of the estate planning process for federal employees. They have access to a system through John Hancock. John Hancock is the provider for the benefits, but the area in the long-term care, again, represents risk management that can either be taken care of with a long-term care policy or a life insurance policy that may have some type of living benefit riders that mimic the long-term care. The long-term care plan from John Hancock is competitively priced if you look at it for an individual, but for oftentimes if you're looking at it for a couple, then the prices that you may be able to provide them in the private sector may be a little bit better than what they can get through the federal plan. Also, their federal plan is changing some of their benefits, and those will be effective October 21st. So at this point, you're probably asking yourself two questions. One, what's the best way to find new prospects and turn them into clients? And then how can I get the professional knowledge that I'll need to work with feds? Well, Federal Employee Benefits Advocates, FEBA, has two programs that are available to assist you as financial advisors and to also provide some assistance to federal employees. The first comes in the area of the FedEd Advisor Training Program. We're going to provide you with the knowledge, the tools, and the support that you need to work with federal employees. And then in addition, we also make available Federal Employee Benefits Advocate seminar programs, and these seminar programs are designed to help you educate federal employees and to build a relationship with them. So first, let's examine the FedEd program. The FedEd program is designed for financial advisors, and the way the program is set up is it starts with a study guide. The study guide is typically sent to you about 2 weeks prior to the training class, so that it will give you an adequate opportunity to be able to go in and to review the materials so that when you come to the class, you're prepared. Much the same way if you took a preparatory class prior to taking maybe your insurance or one of your securities license if you hold those types of registrations. They're very detailed, and it gives you the chance to get the jump on the material that we'll go through when we get to the class. Now, once you come to the class, we'll provide you with the classroom workbook. This workbook will have a copy of all the slides that we'll go through. It'll also have hands-on exercises that'll help you to drill for skill and solidify your knowledge and the understanding of the way the federal benefits work. And this, again, after the class can become a valuable resource for you as well. On the second day of the training class, we provide you with a marketing program. This is what we believe truly differentiates us from anyone else in this particular space, because no one else out there is going to provide you with the marketing skills that you need. So we're going to teach you how to identify the opportunities in your geographic area down to a county level. We're going to teach you a variety of methods of how to locate federal employees, and then we're going to provide you with some basic communication materials that you can use to reach out to the federal employees. And really what you're doing is you're taking control of your own marketing. You're really building 3 different types of prospecting lists organically. One, for the purposes of marketing directly to federal employees, for the purposes of providing a benefits analysis through the software that we provide you, which I'll discuss in just a few moments, as well as prospecting to federal agencies for the purposes of offering on-site benefit briefings. We will teach you how to become a federal contractor so that you would have the ability to do that. And then the hybrid of the two, which would be to invite individuals from both an agency as well as individuals to an off-site benefits seminar. So again, the way our model is set up for FEBA is essentially, think of us like a bait and tackle store. You go into a bait and tackle store, you can buy the bait, you can buy the tackle, they'll show you where the fish are, You got the fishing guide available that can take you out, but we don't throw the hook in the water for you. So one of the things that Federal Employee Benefits Advocates does not do is we are not in the business of setting up seminars for financial advisors. We do occasionally have opportunities that present themselves, and we reach out to advisors that we have worked with if that opportunity presents itself. But most of the business we do on the federal side comes through marketing and referrals that we're provided from existing clients. There's some additional marketing information that we make available. Some of this materials we'll provide directly to you when you come to the class, such as a flyer. We also make additional material that's available that comes in a magazine-style brochure, and this would be used with sitting down with a point of contact, really face-to-face. We also, in addition to that, have other prospecting tools that are available on our website. Postcards can be purchased to mail out. If you provide us a list of at least 1,000 names, we can provide the turnkey of printing the card, addressing it, and shipping it out with the postage. Or some people will just simply buy the postcards and then affix a label to them and do the mailing themselves. So we try to, again, we try to be flexible in our process. So if you do have additional questions about that, we can certainly have a sidebar after the conclusion of this program. So I mentioned earlier the software program. We've teamed up over the last 7 years with a group called Ready Retire Solutions. They used to be called Trust Builders. And what the Trust Builders do is they provide us the software as a third-party vendor, and this software allows you to do a complete benefits analysis for the federal employee. The reason we use Ready Retire Solutions, there's other groups out there, but the reason we use them is they have also another version that's upgradable that would allow you, if you happen to work with state employees around the country, to do also the same type of analysis. So they have a substantial number of the state programs, as well as certain municipalities, that they can provide you that information. So it's not uncommon for people who work with public sector, such as state, municipal, and federal employees, to have that kind of overlap. So we purchase the software for you for the first year, and then after that, it's up to you to be able to renew that if you choose to move forward with the software. In addition to that, we also provide you, when you come to the class, with a digital resource guide. This is about 85 different forms and pamphlets that you would use in the course of working with federal employees. It'll also give you an opportunity to have a deeper dive if you have questions. So for example, here's one: how to read a quarterly statement for the TSP. They've got a deep dive on here that have to do with the FEGLI. So again, these different areas are designed to help you, and again, to help you kind of shorten the learning curve in getting and working with the federal employees. In addition to that, we're also going to provide you, after the class, the opportunity to complete an online exam. If you do complete the exam, we will provide you with a framed certificate that said that you've been through the training. We oftentimes will get a question if we offer designation. We do not offer designation. Any designation that may be out there or may have been created has no validity within the federal government. It's not recognized. Some of the groups will espouse that FINRA has reviewed the designations or approved it. FINRA neither reviews nor do they approve any of that type of thing. So again, just want to make sure we're clear on how that works. In addition, a new feature that we've started offering in the last year, insurance continuing education credits. Currently, we have a number of states that are available. You must complete the training and then go successfully complete the online course within 10 days. In addition to that, if you happen to be a certified financial planner, we also will provide you with 12 hours of CFP credits. And again, we're working on gathering additional states that can be part of it, but these are the ones that we currently have. So when you look at the FedEd program, it's a comprehensive program for advisors to get into the federal market. We start off with the pre-study guide that comes to you 2 days prior to the class. You get the classroom workbook when you show up at the class for the first day. On the second day, we give you the marketing workbook. In addition to that, we'll provide you with the software and the training to use the Ready Retire Solutions software. We also allow you to take the online exam, which in some cases can provide you with continuing education credits, as well as CFP credits. And we also provide you with the digital resource guide. So the cost of this program is $16.95. We only provide these classes on a local basis. We don't do anything via webinar. And the other question that I typically get is there any type of discount? Unfortunately, on this program, we don't have a position where we can provide a discount. So other programs we do have available, we can discount, such as our seminars, but we're not able to do that with this program. So at this time, Nick, what I'd like to do is open it up to see if anyone has any questions about the FedEd program before we go into the FEBA seminars.
Excellent. I'm going to go ahead and unmute a couple of you who are muted. So anybody who has a question, feel free to. There's also a chat function within Zoom. So feel free to reach out and chat if you'd like. And with that, Sean, I don't think we have any questions at this time, so we should just
push
forward.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, Nick. If you do come up with a question later on, please feel free to raise your hand and Nick will recognize you and then we can get the question answered. So the next part of the program we're going to talk about is the Federal Employee Benefits Advocate Seminars. These are educational seminars that are designed to help you to be able to provide information to federal employees about their benefits, and in doing so, build a relationship so that it would allow you to sit down and visit with them one-on-one afterwards in order to help them in potentially one of those 7 areas that we discussed previously. So the way that the programs operate is they're a complete package of federal employee benefit seminars. We have the old system, which is the civil service retirement system. It is set up in a full day and half day. Now, the way that the systems are working today, only about 2% of the federal population remains as covered under the old system. So that means there's only about 55,000 federal employees remaining who are covered under the old system. Under the new system, that's where the remaining folks are. So we have those set up in full day and half day. And then each of the 2 modules, the CSRS or the FERS, come with independent modules so that you can go in and do a lunch and learn, say, for example, on the pension or the TSP or something of that nature. So you do have that ability to take care of that. And those are often used for lunch and learns. We also have a full and half day financial literacy program. These can be actually delivered to anyone in the country. They're not specifically just for federal employees, and so those can be utilized. Most typically, the way that I conduct the briefings, we'll usually do a full day FERS or a full day CSRS. And then on the second day, we'll usually do the half a day financial literacy, because it brings in concepts of things that are not talked about in their federal benefits. Such it goes into more detail about different types of investment products and risk management. It also has a section in there that deals with estate planning, and oftentimes those portions are very well received by the federal employees. The newest seminar that we also make available is divorce and its effect on federal employees. We have that briefing available in both a 2-hour, 2.5 hour, and a 4-hour version. So the materials that are provided, if you do license the material, one of the requirements is you have to order your books and materials from FEBA. The materials are set up in a very professional manner. This gives you an idea of what the front cover looks like, along with some of the other forms that we utilize in the materials. We give a full two up per page rendition of what's going to be covered in the class. Now, these slides are shown in color. The books, when they are printed, are in black and white. If you do want to have them in color, we'll have to discuss that, because that would be special pricing on that. But again, we also try to take down and make some of the more graphical, some of the more complex concepts. You try to use graphs and other tools to help the federal employees better understand them. In addition to that, one of the things that's a distinguishing feature of our program is the benefits worksheet. And I can tell you, having done benefit briefings for the last 10 years, this is probably one of the greatest things that we've introduced, because we get the greatest amount of feedback saying, wow, that's really allowed me to put my information together in one place. Now, one of the pushbacks that I've gotten from financial advisors, well, if they do that in class, why do they need to see me? Well, the truth of the matter is it really accomplishes several different things. The first thing it does is it gives them the opportunity to look at their benefits holistically and see how they all work together. And oftentimes they've never taken the time to do that. Second thing it does is it gives them an opportunity to take it home to their spouse or significant other and to share that information with them. And the thing that you find is that this benefit worksheet often creates more questions or concerns than when they came to the class. So the third thing that it does is it provides you as a starting point and as an initial fact finder if they come in and sit down with you individually afterwards. So you've already gotten some of the information there available, and you may be able to identify some of the things that they have concerns about. In addition to that, we also, if you do license the material, will provide you with an invitation flyer that can be used to help the federal employees to attend the meetings. That's one of the things that we've created, again, to further distinguish ourselves in terms of how the employees understand what's going to be taught and what's going to be covered. Now, on the information that you receive, you'll notice at the bottom, you may be able to make out there's a small disclaimer. One of the things we want to make sure we understand is that you are who you are and we are who we are. So we don't co-brand any of this material. This is simply designed to be an enhancement to increase the attendance at the seminars. In addition to that, we also make available, if you choose to, a template that can be used to produce a summary report. And so this is one of the services that we provide. If we do a benefits briefing, we will provide a summary report back to the point of contact. We'll take all the evaluation forms. We'll score them both numerically and as a percentage, and then we attach the evaluation forms to them. So it completes the cycle, if you will, for them to track their training and to have documentation of how the training was received and, of course, those who were in attendance. This is an example of some of the material that we make available through the financial literacy program. And again, as I mentioned, this is done often on the second day, usually as a half-day program. And also this is good to use if you have federal employees who are attending with non-federal spouses, so you can touch on some of the areas that may affect their benefits as well. This is the example that we have of the divorce and its effect on federal employees. This, if you will, is a niche within a niche. Probably the greatest number of questions and challenges that I've seen have come in the area of divorce. So I took about a year to create this, used my graphic designer, hired an outside consultant to review the work, and this is what I was able to come up with. So this has been delivered numerous times. Primarily, I've used this at conferences, but we'll begin using this shortly in local programs. So again, this is something that allows you to kind of have a niche within the niche, if you will, of federal employees. See, federal employees are covered under federal law and federal statutes. So the rules for divorce are much different than what you would see with private sector plans that are governed under the laws of ERISA. So again, the program is complete. You have the communications, you have the complete benefits trainings that cover the FERS and SERS and the financial literacy. We provide the benefits workbooks, and with the full day briefings, they get the benefits worksheet and then the opportunity to have the summary report. So those are the two programs. So Nick, what I'd like for you to do at this time is to go ahead and open it up to see if anyone has any questions regarding the FEBA seminar program.
Excellent. All right. I think we have everybody here. Again, unmuting some folks. So if anybody has a question, go ahead and shout it out.
This is Jay Moyer. I have a question.
Go ahead, Jay.
Can you hear me? Oh, okay. Sean, do most of the seminars that you do out there for the federal employees, do you see your company acquiring the seminar and then hooking up agents to that, or do most agents or advisors you work with get a relationship, land their own seminar, and then you come in and do it? How does that
well, that's an interesting question, Jay. We usually do a little bit of both. So we have relationships with advisors who set up the seminars, and they ask us to come in and deliver that. And we'll get to some of the pricing here in just a minute, because for some reason, they may not want to learn the presentation, they may not want to take the time to do it, whatever the case may be. So we do that. On the other hand, just like I mentioned earlier, we do have seminars that occasionally we will generate. Usually it's as a result of a referral. For example, we've got a relationship going now with a group out in Arizona that thus far they have referred us to 5 other facilities. And so in that case, we end up using a local financial advisor to be able to handle that. And generally it's someone we've engaged with who's either come through the class or that we've worked with over the years on that. But that's not the primary purpose of our business is to go out and accept funds from you guys and then go out and find seminars. That's just not the model we operate off of. Our experience has been with other firms, that's not a good model, so we've adapted something, that's completely different.
Thank you.
All right.
And then,
additional questions?
And then, Sean, Jim Byers has a question. What is the cost? So we'll just retell. Okay, well, that's a great question, Jim. So what we're going to do now is we're going to transition into that cost model. So the way that the programs are set up, they're licensing. They're single license users. So essentially, if you use the program, you're the only person who can use it. If more than one person is going to benefit from that, we would require the setup of a site license, which would require each person who is going to be benefiting from that to pay a fee. And then in addition to that, they do not receive a copy of the materials. Okay? All right. So it's $2,500 for the SIRS and $2,500 for the FERS. These include full and half-day modules, and as well as the modularized sections. We are running a special right now that if you license the FERS, the CSRS is included at no additional cost for the first year. The financial literacy program is $2,000, and again, that's for the first year. And all of these renew at $500. So what I do is every January, usually within the first 10 to 15 days, I will put out new material to those licensees, and in doing so, they'll get an update of any of the new things that have changed, within the federal system. And then if there's a mid-year update, like there's a couple things that's happened significantly with the TSP and with the long-term care. And so those changes will be made and incorporated mid-year, but generally it's once a year. So if someone licenses the program, the cost for us to come out and speak is $1,500 a day, plus ordinary and reasonable travel expenses. What we do is we collect the speaking fees in advance, generally 30 days in advance, and then once those have been collected, we'll book our travel. We can give you a travel estimate prior to that, but nothing is set in stone until we actually book the tickets. The biggest variable tends to be on the airfare, and then you must pay for the cost of the books. They're $10 for a full day and $8 for a half day, and then the modules run $2 to $3. So we can do a modeling for you, and this would be for those individuals who may want us to come out and deliver multiple seminars, or in some cases they'll have us come out and do the initial speaking so that they can observe and we can train the trainer, and then they'll do it on their own. So we have several different models that we use. The other model that we use for this is the alternative model, and this one, you don't license the material, you don't pay a licensing fee, but your speaker fee is more expensive. It's $2,000 a day plus reasonable travel. Again, we invoiced and it's paid 30 days in advance. We bill the travel and the cost of the books in arrears for the actual cost incurred. So, Jim, those are the two different types of models that we have available. What kind of questions, again, Nick, if we can, to open it up to see if we have any additional questions on this particular area? No more chat questions, and almost everybody is still unmuted. So I think we are good, unless anybody else has a question.
All right, so the programs that we offer are comprehensive. We give you the tools and knowledge and support to work with federal employees. For more information, you can check out our website at FEBadvocates.com. If you want to speak with me individually, there's my phone number, 720-432-3331, or you can email your questions to FEBadvocates.com. Now, we do have a FedEd class coming up in San Antonio, Texas, on November 5th and 6th. GPM Life will actually be hosting this at their home office, and the cost of the class is $16.95. This does not include meals, hotels, or travel. Those will be on your own, and if you do want to sign up for the class, you'll need to do so prior to October 22nd. That way, that'll give us that 2-week deadline that we need to get you the materials so that you can be prepared for the class. So any questions about the class that we're offering or any of the programs that we've discussed thus far today?
Not at this time. So with that,
all right,
we are good.
All right. Well, thanks everyone for taking the time today. If you do have additional questions, you can certainly give me a call or email me. Everyone that's participated in this call will get a recorded version of this. We'll also include a link to our website and to our online page for the registration, and then so you can also look at the online shop that we have for other products and services if you're interested in those. So again, thanks everyone. Thank you, Nick, for hosting it, and everyone have a great weekend, and we will talk with you soon. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Sean.